Myth: medieval cities were filthy death traps. Picture a medieval city, streets filled with garbage, waste thrown from windows, people wading through filth while disease spreads unchecked. It is one of the most familiar images of the Middle Ages.
And it feels believable.
But like many popular ideas about medieval life, it is only part of the story. Today, we challenge the myth that medieval cities were nothing more than filthy death traps and uncover how people actually managed urban life in a world without modern sanitation. Section 1. Why the myth feels true. Medieval cities were not clean by modern standards. There were no sewers like we have today. Waste could accumulate. Animals moved freely through streets. Disease outbreaks did happen, sometimes with devastating consequences. So the image of a dirty city is not invented. But the leap from not modern to completely uncontrolled filth is where the myth begins. Because medieval people were not passive. They noticed dirt, smell, and disease, and they tried to manage them. Section 2. Cities had rules. Medieval cities were governed spaces. Town councils created laws to regulate daily life, including sanitation. These laws were not optional. They were enforced, sometimes with fines or public punishment. Residents could be ordered to clean the street outside their homes. Dumping waste in certain areas was forbidden. Butchers, tanners, and other trades that produced strong smells were restricted to specific districts. Cleanliness was not just personal, it was civic. Urban life depended on cooperation, and regulation was how cities maintained order. Section 3. Waste was managed, not ignored. Waste did not simply pile up without thought. Many cities employed workers whose job was to remove refuse. Carts collected waste and transported it outside city walls. In some places, designated dumping areas were established to control where waste went. Households used pits, cesspools, and latrines. These were not pleasant, but they were structured systems rather than random disposal. In larger cities, early drainage systems and channels helped carry waste away from populated areas. The system was imperfect, but it was still a system. Section 4. Water and cleanliness. Access to clean water mattered. Cities invested in wells, fountains, and sometimes aqueducts. Public water sources were maintained and protected because they were essential to survival. Contaminating water could bring serious penalties. People understood that bad water meant sickness, even if they did not understand germs, so they protected what they could control. Clean water was a shared resource, and cities treated it as one. Section 5. Why the myth exists. If medieval cities were regulated, why do we imagine them as chaos? Part of the answer comes from later centuries. Writers in the 18th and 19th centuries often exaggerated medieval filth to make their own time seem more advanced. Industrial cities were dealing with their own sanitation crises. But it was easier to point backward. The image stuck. Modern media reinforced it. Films, books, and games prefer dramatic visuals. A muddy, chaotic street feels more vivid than a regulated one. Over time, exaggeration became expectation. Section 6. The real urban experience. Medieval cities were crowded, noisy, and often dirty. But they were also organized. People enforced rules. Authorities created systems. Communities worked to maintain shared spaces because their survival depended on it. Urban life required constant effort, not neglect. The difference is not between clean and filthy. It is between modern infrastructure and medieval solutions. Conclusion. Medieval cities were not pristine, but they were not lawless pits of filth either. They were living systems shaped by regulation, necessity, and human effort. If you enjoy exploring how the Middle Ages really worked beneath the myths, like this video and subscribe to TorchLit History. And tell me in the comments, what other medieval myths should we challenge next? Because history is rarely as simple as the stories we inherit, and the truth is almost always more interesting.